Does it mess with your head when you realize you're always the one texting first? Always the one checking your phone? Always the one wondering why she never reaches out? While she seems perfectly fine without you, you tell yourself she's just busy. You tell yourself women don't text first. You tell yourself you're overthinking. But deep down, you feel it, that quiet imbalance, that subtle disrespect, that slow erosion of your confidence. You're investing energy, attention, emotion, and getting silence in return. And the worst part? The silence feels louder than rejection. Let me tell you a story you already know, even if you've never put words to it. There's a guy, let's call him Daniel. Smart, driven, decent man. Daniel meets Emily at a friend's birthday in London. The chemistry feels real. She laughs easily. She touches his arm. She stays longer than she planned. That night, Daniel goes home replaying every moment. The next morning, he texts her. She replies. Short but polite. Daniel texts again 2 days later. She replies again. Always replies, never initiates. Weeks pass. Daniel notices a pattern. If he doesn't text, nothing happens. No, how was your day? No, I was thinking about you. No curiosity, just silence. And here's where most men lose their power. Daniel starts trying harder. Longer messages, faster replies, more availability, more emotional investment. And that's where everything breaks. Because when a woman never calls or texts you first, it's not an accident. It's information. And if you're honest with yourself, you already feel what that information means. She enjoys your attention, but she doesn't fear losing you. She likes the validation, but she doesn't value your presence. She's comfortable knowing you'll always be there, waiting. Female psychology doesn't respond to pressure. It responds to contrast. It responds to absence. It responds to emotional self-control. Most men think the solution is to communicate more, explain feelings, ask for clarity. Hey, I noticed I'm always the one texting first. That feels mature, logical, adult. It's also weak in attraction terms, because desire doesn't grow from conversations about effort. Desire grows from emotional tension, from uncertainty, from the possibility of loss. When she never texts first, the problem isn't your texting strategy. The problem is your positioning. You've placed her above you emotionally. You're chasing certainty while she's enjoying comfort. Stoic philosophy understood this centuries ago. Marcus Aurelius wrote about not placing your peace in the hands of another. Epictetus warned against needing external validation to feel whole. When you rely on her attention to feel calm, grounded, or worthy, you've already lost leverage. Here's the brutal truth most men don't want to hear. If she never texts first, she doesn't miss you. Not yet. And you can't negotiate desire. You can only create the conditions where it awakens. So what do? You stop performing. You stop explaining. You stop initiating. Not out of anger, not to punish her, not to play games. You stop because you're reclaiming emotional balance. Silence, when used correctly, is not withdrawal, it's clarity. Think about another man, Michael, from New York. Michael used to text women nonstop. He thought consistency proved interest. Every time a woman pulled back, he leaned in harder. And every time the result was the same. Slow fades, mixed signals, eventual ghosting. Then Michael did something radical. He stopped chasing responses. He stopped filling silence. He focused on his routine. Gym at 6 a.m., work, reading at night. When a woman texted, he replied calmly, briefly, without urgency. And when she didn't, he didn't chase. Something strange happened. Women started coming back. Not immediately, not dramatically, but subtly. A hey stranger, a random meme, a late-night check-in. Why? Because for the first time, Michael wasn't emotionally predictable. He wasn't always available. He wasn't feeding their ego on demand. Female psychology craves emotional strength more than emotional availability. When you're always initiating, you're communicating. I need this connection more than you do. When you pull back without resentment, you communicate, I'm grounded whether you're here or not. That's attractive. Now let's address the fear sitting in your chest right now. The fear that if you stop texting, she'll disappear forever. Good. Because if her interest only exists when you chase, it was never real interest. It was convenience. A woman who is genuinely drawn to you will feel the shift. She will feel the gap. She will feel the loss of attention she quietly relied on. And that discomfort forces a decision. Invest or let go. And here's the key, either outcome is a win. If she reaches out, it's because she chose you. Not because you begged. Not because you explained. Because she felt your absence. If she doesn't, you've saved yourself months of emotional drain, false hope, and self-betrayal. This isn't about manipulating women. It's about respecting yourself enough to stop overgiving to someone who hasn't earned it. There's another layer men often miss. When you constantly text first, you remove mystery. You remove space for imagination. You remove the emotional room where desire grows. Women don't fantasize about men who are always present. They fantasize about men who have a full life and invite them into it, not revolve around them. Think about James and Sydney. James used to check his phone every 5 minutes. One unread message could ruin his mood. Now, he checks when it's convenient. He responds when it aligns with his energy. He doesn't disappear, but he doesn't chase. And women feel that shift immediately. They feel the difference between a man who wants connection and a man who needs it. Needing repels. Wanting without attachment attracts. If she never texts first, your move is not to demand effort. Your move is to remove excess effort. Match energy. Protect your time. Invest where curiosity is mutual. Silence isn't weakness when it comes from self-control. Silence is power when it's rooted in self-respect. You don't announce it. You don't threaten. You don't post passive-aggressive stories. You simply step back and watch the truth reveal itself, because attraction doesn't respond to words. It responds to behavior. And the moment you stop chasing her, attention is the moment she has to decide whether she values you enough to reach for it herself. That decision tells you everything you need to know. So stop asking why she never texts first. Start asking why you've been okay with carrying the connection alone. Correct that and everything changes. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.